Hello, Stage FM, it's me, Aeron James.
Oh my god, hey, it's me, Mickey J Theatre.
And we are at
The Witches. Ooh.
We are at The Witches, but we're at the National Theatre.
We're at the National Theatre. Did I answer wrong? We're at the National Theatre, everybody. Look, it's there.
Yeah, and what we're seeing, Nick, is
The Witches.
yeah, in the Olivier Theatre, so that is the biggest theatre at the National Theatre. And this is really exciting because it's a new musical based on a Roald Dahl tale, which, I mean, making Roald Dahl musicals has been quite positive.
Yeah, some great examples. Some
Matilda.
Yeah, some mixed. Matilda being the big one.
Yeah.
Charlie and the Chocolate Factory has sort of gone through a developmental, changing life.
And an interesting creative team.
An interesting creative team, because this is a musical featuring a score by Dave Malloy. If you recognise that name, it's because he has written such musicals as
Natasha Pierre and the Great Comet of 1812.
Very good. Also Ghost Quartet and I want to say Octet.
Octet.
Also, Preludes?
Yes.
All the Dave Malloy shows.
Very artsy composer.
Yeah, and this is like a much more commercial, child accessible title. So we're intrigued to see how...
It's the most commercial one he's ever done.
Yeah, we're intrigued to see how he adapts his usual style to that kind of a specification.
Yeah.
Basically. What other shows have you seen in the Olivier Auditorium, Aeron James?
So I saw Pinocchio, which was the one that was based off a Disney film.
No, that was not in the Olivier.
Oh no, that was in the Littleton.
Lie, you lie immediately.
I saw Follies, I saw Peter Pan.
Treasure Island?
I saw Treasure Island, I saw Our Country's Good.
Wonder Dot Land?
No.
No, I'm just answering now as well.
I saw Stephen Sondheim make his speech on the stage.
Gotta make me jealous. As You Like It, Peter Gynt, London Road.
Hadestown.
Hadestown. Same. Oh, I'm wearing my Hadestown hat.
Yay!
Can I explain my outfit? Because I have Roald Dahl t-shirts, but I forgot by the time I'd put this t-shirt on, but I am wearing my National Theatre necklace. If it'll focus on it. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. Yeah, you can get these from the National Theatre bookshop, which we'll probably go to today because they have Witches Man.
Yeah, and I am dressed in a very Disney comfy cozy look because I wanted to be comfy and cozy, and it's a family friendly show, so it felt a little bit tied in, but really it's just I wanted to wear this. Now let's go and head into the National Theatre. So
let's head into the National Theatre.
Yes, head in. And here is the front of the National Theatre. So through this entrance you can get to the Olivier and the Littleton. We're seeing the show at the Olivier today. So we will be upstairs, and this is also an upstairs pathway that you can cut across from South Bank Centre and walk along there and enter upstairs at the level of the Olivier. But how cool is that they put the Witch's Hand up there with the sign, and it's all purple on either side. They're fully themed for National to the Witches, and you can already tell down here it says join the Witches Adventure Trail, join in the adventure and stop the Grand High Witch. So obviously Mickey is going to be spending the show being part of the adventure trail because he normally gets distracted by these things.
Maybe.
As I was saying, it says on here, Witches Adventure Trail. Join in the adventure and stop the Grand High Witch. We shall. I don't know if we'll have time to do the trail today, but it says go this way on the floor. So when you come in through the main entrance, right in front of you is the National Theatre bookshop. What they have today is Witches merch. They have notebooks, they have beanies, they have mouse keyrings, magnets, these bottles which have a really cool design on Formula 86. I do not fully know the meaning of it because it's been so long since I read The Witches, but Formula 86 is everywhere, so I believe it means a lot in this. You've got t-shirts, you've got tote bags, you've got Roald Dahl books, you've got mice. The chances of Mickey buying mice is very high. I'm already prepared for this, and so much more, and so much Roald Dahl stuff. Quite like these t-shirts, they're quite fun. Here I had a little The Witches on the side as well. So now let's get into the pricing of things. The mouse, as you can see here, is $6.95. T-shirts are £20. They have this nice little display of all the sizes, so you can just get them yourselves. And the stock's here, that's really handy, not having to need to ask people. Oh gosh, they have pencils and pins. $2.95 for the pencils, and they have these pins. They have the Witch's Hand, they have the mouse, and they have the formula. Very fun. And then below it's all Roald Dahl merch. We can show you a closer look at the pencil. And then I just look, the mice are really cute. The bottles are, do they have a price? They're $23.95, so they're not the cheapest, but this is like properly embossed rather than it being like sticker or anything, so it'll do well in the wash. And I actually really love this. The magnets are $3.95, the mouse keyring is $4.95, $16.95 for the hat. The tote bag is £8.50, and then here the notebook is, I can't find it for you. It's probably underneath, but I'll let you know later if I find out.
We do have a themed food item. There's actually one left, and I wanted it. It's a witch's cupcake. I'm filming it now because I don't know if it's still going to be there by the time I get to the front of this queue.
And we're heading up to Olivier first. You have to go upstairs and then head upstairs for the witches. These cute little signs from the mice. Maybe they will guide us for Halloween there. I really love the look of the National, but some people hate it because it's very concrete. But there's something about this brutalist architecture that I just kind of love. And downstairs it is the House of Bernard Alba. It's directed by Rebecca Fracknell, who's behind Cabaret and A Streetcar Named Desire. Up again, Olivier Theatre, this way. Up we go. He's struggling.
I always think it's fewer steps than it is.
No, because the restaurant's in between. Here we are.
So up at the entrance to the Olivier Auditorium, we have this merch stand here exclusively for the witches. You can see many of the items from the bookshop down below, as well as a program and an activity book. Those are the two different books that you see there on the top. I'm obsessed with this cute little cauldron. I don't think there's anything in it, but it's just a cute little feature. You can see hat, magnets, tote bags, t-shirts, all the bits and pieces you saw downstairs here as well. Very aesthetic, very purple. They're also selling the Roald Dahl original book, The Witches. By the bar queue here, you can pre-order your interval drinks. I'll just show you what that looks like. There you go, we have various different snacks, and then red wine, white wine, rosé, sparkling. I don't know why I started seeing that. Sparkling options there, by the glass or the bottle. Spirits, beers and ciders, soft beverages as well. How exciting. There you go, self-service interval drinks.
So Mickey didn't realise that the programme is the activity book. I've noticed them do this a lot with their family shows. So the same with Peter Pan and with, I think Pinocchio is the same as well, but they do it in both. So the back half is an activity book and the front half is a programme, so it's perfect. Some fun doodling in the interval, or something that you can look at and play with and like do things with after the show. So you can have fun kind of being immersed in the witches world. But then also, you can find out all about the people. And another thing I'm going to show you in a second is what the National Theatre does, which hardly any theatres in the UK do, but is a big thing on Broadway, which is playbills. So the National do free sheet. So I've bought a programme which is more the UK model, where you buy a programme and it tells you all the details, and it's glossy, but then you can get a free sheet, little pamphlet, more like a playbill, which then gives you basically all the information about the show, etc., but not as much like photos or anything like that, or like the glossiness of it. It's very like plain, no artwork really.
So we've just noticed this sign on the bar about Formula 86. Now, been a long time since I've seen the film based on The Witches. Haven't seen the show yet, so I forget what this is. But it does say you can have it with vodka if you don't like stinking children, or if you are a stinking child, you can have it with frog juice. So we're about to ask if this is an actual thing or just an elaborate marketing joke.
We got the cocktail. Here's a cocktail, so that sign is real. And there's a little purple pipette in there as well. We got the adult version with vodka and... oh wow, it actually comes out with... that's fun. It's an actual real pipette.
I have no idea what I'm piping.
No.
It's purple.
But it's fun, you're actually doing a formula.
It's nice. Sweet.
This is very fruity, I think. Very more berries.
Lemonade, cranberry juice, with vodka because it's the adult version.
Was it cassis? I was trying to...
Maybe. Tastes very nice. Tastes very nice. Tastes a little like a woo-woo.
Yeah, it was about $10.95, I believe, for the adult version. So we have our drink. Behind Mickey is signed The Witches. There's lots of projections around here, including up there.
For Broadway people, this is a reusable plastic cup. This is not a souvenir.
No, you have to drop this off after you finish drinking. I think, I'm gathering you can keep the pipette if you want to. So when I was talking about free sheets, right by the entrance into the auditorium, you can find the free cast list. And it has all the information about the show in it. Basically the list of everybody that's in it, and then production credits and just some information on the show. So we're sat in the front row as we got a seats for Rush. This is kind of a view. It's quite a high stage, so I definitely would not recommend this for if you're going with children. I'm like 5'7", 5'8", so this is kind of a view from me sat down. So I think you'll be fine for seeing people, but I'll let you know towards the end what the front of the theatre is like. We have came outside during the interval because if you come out from the stalls level out onto the outside garden, you can get right up to this big display. So we are on the front row, which is very good for being very close to the actors, but only downside is that it's a high stage. It's the only downside. My neck is a little bit cricky, as you can see, but I'm enjoying it. Mickey's keeping strong. You'll find out soon what he thinks. Hello! So this is after the show. We have been back a while, as normal, future versions of us. And since we've been, the press night has happened, the reviews have come out. It has done pretty well.
It has. People liked The Witches.
You have posted your review that people can go and watch.
I have. You can go and find that over on Mickey Joe Theatre, all of my thoughts about this show.
And so we're first going to do our overall thoughts. Obviously then head to Mickey's channel to go and watch his more in detail thoughts about specifics of the show and the material. And then we're also going to do tips on getting tickets to see the show, pre-show foods, and any tips. The Witches was a lot of fun. More Matilda than it is Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
Sure.
It is dark, it has its spooky moments.
It does have, it's very like, there's only one moment that's like really actively scary, but there's just like a spooky vibe throughout. And the way it starts is quite creepy.
I think the start is probably the scariest part. And we noticed when we were there that if your children aren't that kind of comfortable always going to the theatre, maybe this would be the show to bring them to after seeing her show before.
Yeah, I don't think this is necessarily like first theatrical experience for a child material, because it is a little bit spooky.
Yeah. It's just a little bit spooky.
I mean, it's a show all about witches who are trying to abduct children and turn them into vermin and/or antiques. So that's a lot. That's a lot for a child.
But what they've done with the set, I was very impressed with Dave Malloy's writing, because this is the most commercial he's ever sounded, and the most kind of, I think, approachable for theatre fans that maybe aren't into complex material.
Yeah, I described it to a friend last night as Dave Malloy having not touched a drop of whiskey in like 6 months. It's a much more like a family-friendly version of a Dave Malloy kind of score. You can still tell, you can hear that familiarity, but it's distinctly more commercial, you're right.
Yeah, and it's easy to follow. I don't think there's an issue of kids not understanding what's going on. I think just maybe it's that little bit spookier than
It's just
Matilda.
fun. It's just fun. It's got a great cast, and it's one of those epic Olivier shows where it's got a huge set with revolves and new set pieces that come on and 50 million people in the cast. It's just a lot of fun. Yeah. It's a nice, fun, decadent musical, which we like.
Yeah, I can happily recommend going to see this show whilst it's on. It's on until the end of January, so there is still plenty of time if you're looking to book to see the show, or you're flying over to London and planning your trip, etc.
On a broomstick.
Yeah, so ticket-wise, Mickey, do we have any top tips of how to get cheaper tickets to see the show? Because obviously there's the normal ways to get your tickets. There are a range of ticket prices that you can buy from.
Any young people watching this video, there is a specific, the National Theatre always do tickets for young people.
Yeah.
That's something to be aware of and take advantage of. I don't know what that scheme is called anymore. It used to be called Entry Pass. I don't know if it still is, since I aged out of it.
I'm not sure. I think I'm going to say it's up to 25 years old.
I lost the last year of that to COVID, so I'm still bitter about it. But as an adult, you can get semi-last minute cheaply priced tickets with the Friday Rush. So this is every Friday at 1 p.m. and this is not just for The Witches, but any of the National Theatre shows at 1 o'clock on a Friday. Tickets for the next week's worth of performances go on sale for, I think, £10. £10.
Yes. Incredible pricing.
Including the front row. That's how we got our front row seats.
Yeah, so we can fully recommend trying it. A tip, if you are looking at seats, if you will taller, the front row, I can recommend. I would say if you're on the shorter side of the front row, you will see the actors fine and you won't not see heads, etc.
Yeah.
But if you're wanting to get the full experience of seeing the floor, etc., you do miss parts of it.
It's not the very best seat in the house. I mean, it's cool being front row for like the immediacy of it and like those intimidating moments, and it's quite an epic way to see the show. I'm 5'11", I didn't really miss anything. There may have been like mice.
I think that's probably one of the things.
Occasionally it seems as though we might have
things
missed it and stuff, yeah.
But then they'll pick them up and make it clear what just happened.
Yeah.
But you might feel a tiny bit behind, and that maybe impacts.
In terms of a view, though, the Olivier Auditorium is designed such that any seat ought to give you a good view. Halfway back the stalls, probably the best.
I'd say so.
I
think the halfway
You don't
back
need to
in
be
the
in that front section. If you go a little bit further back in the stalls, the rake gets a lot steeper, and so that's a better way to be, but it depends what you value as a theatre goer. We have a friend who would much rather be near at the front rather than getting sort of a more full picture of the stage, so it's up to you, but like, don't worry about those side sections. They're not as side on as they look in the seating plan. The circle is a bit distant, but it's comfortable seats, which is important. They're wide seats.
It's very big in this theatre,
and it's a nice open view.
And what's also great with this theatre is they have a lot of food options inside it.
They do.
There are cafes, there are sections that are more like street food, etc. So you could plan your evening meal to have there.
There's like pizza and like Indian as well.
Yeah, and then there's the bookshop where you can have a little peruse.
There's a proper sit-down restaurant that we haven't tried, but we probably should at some point.
Yeah, and then there's a wine bar on the top floor as well that we've walked past.
So lots of eateries in the venue specifically, and then around outside. We arrived with less time than we thought we would have.
Yeah.
So we grabbed something from the street food van outside of Oaxaca,
which is owned by Oaxaca, and they do like kind of rice bowls and burritos. But then along that South Bank area, you have like
Wagamamas, great pre-theatre option.
I think giraffes there.
Yeah, in the Greater Waterloo area, you've got a ton of options.
There's tons of options. So I think one of the nice things about this theatre is that it's so well situated for your pre-show food right next door. You don't have to worry about running about or getting like a tube or crossing the bridge.
Yeah,
it's a longer show, so just be aware at the end of the show, it might be a little bit.
Yeah, the website still lists it as 2 hours 20 or like 2 hours 30. I think it is very much. I believe it's still running to about 2 hours 50.
Yeah, so it's towards a 3-hour show. So I think if you're planning this show, maybe plan it for your evening show, maybe not for the matinee. I think if you're trying to do a double show day, it would serve you better so that you get that nice amount of time to...
Depends how long you need between shows. Some people just like grab a quick bite to eat and then would rather go on to it. I would normally, back when I used to do 2 show days and travel from further afield, I would do the longer one as the matinee, because then I'm more likely to get an earlier train rather than doing a really late evening show. Because this is a 7 o'clock start as well, so you would lose that in between time by half an hour anyway. So I'd do a matinee personally.
I would definitely take awareness of the timing.
Yeah.
So our show was at 7 PM. This is often with most family shows in London. They're now running at a slightly earlier times. So I know Matilda and Frozen.
Matinees might be a 2 as well rather than a 2:30.
Yeah, so definitely keep an eye on the Witches' times.
Yeah.
And also fun, if you get the programme, we showed it earlier, you flip it over and you've got
I think when I was showing the merch, I said they were 2 different things. It's not.
They're not.
It's reversible.
The National does this quite a lot with their family shows. And the cocktails was really nice, because I don't know if we spoke about it.
I don't think we did, but loved the cocktail.
Very, very nice.
Delicious. We should have ordered 2.
Yeah.
Next time. Next time.
And and all of that merch, I think we might end up going back to see The Witches.
Oh, that merch. I'd happily go back and see The Witches. I already want to go see The Witches. I've had 3 of the songs stuck in my head.
Yeah, so
go back and see The Witches.
For the comments below, comment below with your favourite Roald Dahl story. Have you been to see a Roald Dahl musical, be that Matilda or Charlie and the Chocolate Factory or The Witches? And let us know if there's one you'd love to be adapted to the stage, or are you planning to see The Witches? Just all about joy. And with the comment, what should they call? What emoji should they do?
Mouse emoji.
And comment with a mouse emoji to show us that you got to the end of this video.
Squeak squeak.
Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and then head over to Mickey's channel to watch his review of the show. We hope you have a magical and stagey rest of your day, and we'll see you soon. Bye!